Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial Ace, and in this video you are learning Angular 17, and in this video I'm going to discuss about Angular routing and Angular nested routings. In the previous video we had converted HTML template to Angular project, but the problem is that it is quite static, right? If you click on any of the menus it doesn't work, so we will make this functional. For example, if the user clicks on about or home or travel, restaurant, contact, etc., then the page should open. So in this video we will discuss and we will implement that into this project so that you can get real-time experience. So now let's go to our folder here in project, and then you will find one file called app routings. So this is the file app routing modules.ts. Okay, so you have to pass here, this is an array, okay, routes array, so you have to pass here in object format. So here path, so this is the alias, the URL alias, and this will be your component name. So in our case, what is the component name? Okay, but before that let's check here. The data will load at this place, right, where our center or home component is. Now, so I think it was your home component, right? Header, footer, and center component. Okay, so let's write here center component. So better, why not, let's check app component dot, yeah, this is center component. So we will load dynamically the pages here. So you need to write here router outlet, and at this place our data will dynamically load. Now let's go once again to this router. So this one is home page. So home page will automatically load. So what we need to do, just we can put blank. That means when our page loads first time, then home page will load here, and here we will write about, and we will create about page. Now for about us, let's create one component here. NGGC about. Now let's call that component here. So about component, so you can see here automatically it get imported, right? So now let's run the project. npm start. And yes, one more thing which is very important, we need to provide the link. So where header, let's go to header.html, and this one is header.html. so in home page, where is home, yeah, here is home. Okay, so we will write here router link and then slash. So here will be no ahref, just router link. Same way for about, we need to write here about for router link. Now let's check. Okay, so now if we click on about, then yeah, guys, successfully you can see our about works is showing here. So that means what, about component is loading. If you click on home, then home page is automatically coming. So let's do one thing. Actually in header we will remove this banner from header, and let's put it into home component. Okay, so this header means slider, actually not header. So slider starts from here, carousel, right? just cut it and let's paste inside center component. Where is center? Footer center HTML on the top. Here. Okay, now let's check. Okay, so there is no happening here. Okay, if I click about, then you can see the about it coming here. If I click on home, then whole things come. So in about page, about.html, now go to here and then alright, so what we will do in about component, this is our HTML design. Okay, this is not the component, actually this is our HTML design of about component. So let's copy from here to, okay, footer is not required because footer is in different section, so we will copy from here to here and just let's go to our about component, which is inside src folder, app, then about, and then about HTML. So just let's paste here. So something is wrong. What is there? Nav is already closed. So how? It says unexpected closing tab navs. So that means what? Somewhere there is tag mismatch. So let's check. So actually in header section it is already router link, so actually we don't need this navigation. Let's simply delete this because this navigation is already in our header page. So up to here we can delete, only this section is required. Okay, now let's check. Okay, so when I click on about, then guys you can see this about page is successfully opening. When I click on home, then home is opening. So let's understand the code, that how this works actually. Okay, let's go to router page, this app routing module. What happens here? This is for home page. Home page means when you open here, then there is no any page, it is simply blank, right? So when there is blank, it will match here. So when it is blank, then it will look for the component and it will find, we have specified the component name here, center component. So it will automatically load center component. And then when you click on about, this is alias, you can name it whatever you like. So but its name generally should be lowercase and there should be no space. For example, about us is wrong. If you want to specify like this, 2 words, then about us is fine. And then when user will click on about, then which component will load? So in that case this component will load. So this one and this one, what you are seeing here, when you click on about, so this and these are same. Now let's come back here, and image is not displaying. No, let's close it. Our about component is this one, app component, header component, let's close it. And then center component, where is about component here? App component, about component HTML. Okay, there was an image which is not loading, so assets, Now you can see the image is also loading here. Okay, so these images are also loading here. So this way you can see. Now suppose you want to give a travel. When user clicks on travel, then travel page should load, or restaurant page, or contact, for example contact page. So let's once again create one more component called contact. So NGGC contact. It will generate one component called contact, and yeah, contact component has been generated. Now let's find the design here. So actually it doesn't have contact. So let's do one thing, just copy from about component and just paste there, or simply we will write here this is contact page. Okay, about and then contact div class container h2, this is contact page. Now in header we have to once again provide link. So where is that contact? So here we need to remove and router link / contact. Okay, because we have not written here in app routing, you have to specify here na contact. So contact and then contact component. This is contact. So you can design this page later. So this way you can use routing in Angular. Now I will show you how you can use nested routes. Okay, for example, if I click on services, then a page called service should appear. So now let's create one page component called services. NGGC services. Okay, now inside services you can see there are few pages. For example, restaurant, taxi to airport, lounge. So I will create these three components: services / lounge, taxi, and one more component, and that is which one is that? Let's check here. Restaurant. So these are child components of services component. Okay, restart the server. In here let's add one more component called services. Not this one. Services, and of course services component we will call. This one, last one, services component. Now check the HTML of services page. This is our services page. Okay, so from HTML, this services page, let's copy this section. We don't need footer, just copy this one, close it, and come here and inside services. You will see the services and just paste here services. Okay, and app routing we have already specified here services. So now check here. Oh, in header we have to write there center component. Let's close it, header component. So where it says services, where is that? Now here we need to specify router link. Router link and then services. Okay, now let's check into the browser. So when I click on services, now you can see this services page is opening. When I click on about, then about is opening. Okay, now what I want, when I click on restaurant, then its subchild, that means the detail of restaurant should open. So what we need to do here, just put comma and then square bracket. No, not this, that means array, and here again object. So here we will write path colon and then double quote, and here we need to write children and colon. So path will be restaurant, and then of course the component here, component, and then colon restaurant component. Yeah, this one. Okay, we have to specify here component name, and that is services component, right? Services component. So this one is child component of service, and there were two other components also, right? That was taxi and launch. Taxi, so there will be taxi component, and another one was launch. Launch component. So when we click on about or services, then this page is opening. But when we open here, say taxi, or when you open here restaurant here, then still this one is showing. So what we want that when we click on child component, then it display child component here. Okay, so for that what we need to do here, inside the services component we need to write router outlet here. So let's do one thing. This is our, let's create one div. We will write here class parent services. Okay, so that this is the parent component. Now inside this component we will include here router outlet. Okay, now let's try. So as you can see, this shows restaurant works. If you change here taxi, then taxi works, it is displaying. That means what? The main component is loading as well as this one is loading. But there is a problem. this one is displaying parent component as well as child component, so it's not good at all, because when I click on restaurant it should display restaurant only. When I click on this service, then it should display all. So for that we need to just write here one code inside service component here. First thing, we need to call here constructor and then router. Okay, and of course you here also you need to include. Now let's create a function, say show parent. Okay, and then inside this show parent and then boolean, this return this dot router dot url. So we will check url. If this is services, then this part should display here. So we will write here ng if star ng if, then this function show parent, then this part will display, or else this router outlet should show, not just opposite of this. Okay, so now let's try. So this is services, it is displaying perfect, but when I should click on restaurant, wow, it is displaying restaurant only. So when you click on taxi, so it is displaying taxi only. So guys, this way with a simple tweak you can display parent and child and in the router as well. Okay, this is very simple. What he is doing, just taking the current URL, and if the current URL is services, that means this if current URL is services, in that case it will check. So if the current URL is services, then in that case this part will display and this part will hide. And when the current URL is not services, in that case this part will display and this part will hide. So guys, this way you can create a static website and routing like this. So hope you like this video, guys. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, so don't forget to subscribe and also like the video. If you have any comment, don't forget to write into comment box. I will try my best to reply. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.